Hey everybody! So last week we did a tutorial on bubble dyeing leather, and we made this little piece that Kayleena designed up, and it was really just a piece to show off what the bubble leather, like the bubble dyeing technique, can do. But a lot of you asked for the pattern for the actual wallet, so we had actually filmed kind of a tutorial in case we didn't have enough footage for the bubble dyeing, but I didn't want to make a 45-minute video making doing the technique and then also showing you how to make the piece. So we split it into two, and this video is going to be a full tutorial on this card wallet. It's really cool. It's got 2 card slots and a bill slot, and it's all just very neatly tucked in one piece. The pattern will be on the website for $2 or $3, and here we go. So once we are all dry and glossed up here, it's time to make something. So Kayleena designed up this cool card wallet design. Link will be in the description for a couple bucks if you want to grab it and make one of your own. I'm going to make the entire thing out of this, so we'll see how that goes. This is a 3-pocket wallet with a flap and double snap closure. It's got 2 slots for cards and a slot for cash, and it looks like it's going to be a fun one. I've never made it before, so I'm excited. So admittedly for the video, I'm kind of just, this was an end cut, so this stuff was kind of junky looking anyway for veg tan, as end cuts like the end of the hide usually is, so I'm not really worried about having too much scrap or anything like that. So I am going to kind of haphazardly place things, not so much for yield but for pattern. And then I also, all of the pattern pieces, the pockets, are flat, and we'll draw in some curves. I've really still been loving those buckle guy acrylics. They just allow you to do so much cool stuff. So first I'm just going to do a little bit of skiving. I already have 2 sides done. I'm just going to, this is kind of thick leather, so this knife needs to be stroked, but. And then what I like to do is, you don't have to do this, I like to take off this little corner here. Clean that up. There we go. So we have a bunch of these circle guys here. This is an acrylic kit from Buckle Guy, and I'm just going to freehand a little curve on the first one. So what I'm doing is, this is 4 inches across, so I'm centering it. And then all you have to do is kind of pick where you want your curve to go. So I'm going in a little more than a 1/2 inch on each side, and just scribe your line. And then you can use a smaller one if you want to kind of mellow that out, or you can just do what I do and be lazy about it and do it by hand. So I'm just going to cut my curve, and then kind of come out, and you want to end parallel to your leather, right? And then there we go. So now we'll just transfer this to, there's trim allowance here, so I'm going to center that on my grid, and then place that there, trace that one. And then the bottom pocket is built into the shell of this piece. So we'll just line that up. There we go. And then we can go through. And cut these guys down. A little bit of edge dye here. I'm just going to hit these edges with it so they all match.
Is that the same red?
It's the same red mixed with a little bit of brown. I'm just doing the inside edges. Now the one thing is, if you want to go and dye the back, so this is what the back looks like. I guess actually, Let's see what this does. I've never tried to like just color in the back of something with a dye pen before. I don't know if this is going to look good or not. It's probably going to look horrible.
It's like using a marker.
It really, well, it's literally a marker.
Yeah, like when you're trying to color in a page and you're like,
Yeah.
you can see the lines.
Yeah, tiger stripe, zebra striping, they call it when you're painting the car, like spray cans. It's good enough. We'll hit it with some Tokonol and slick it down, and better than it looked before. And the cool thing about that is basically no dry time on that. So we can just throw a bit of Tokonol on there. That'll also help with the lines.
Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah. Slick it down. Now this is a little different because this is the grain side, or the fiber side, not the grain side. So you do want to go pretty hard with your bone folder to get all those fibers slicked down. We got a nice sheen. So yeah, that took no time at all. So I installed the male ends of our snaps. We have everything burnished on the pocket tops here and dyed. So the next step on the pattern, there's a little line, and this line is where you mark because that's where our little pocket is going to go. So I'm just going to mark that on both sides. Not even from Massachusetts. I'm going to mark that. And then under that, I'm going to scuff this up. And I did just realize we can actually probably skive a little the bottom of this because this outer shell is going to fold around it. So we'll thin that out a little bit as well. A little skiving on a cutting mat, which is annoying and you should never do it. Again, not the sharpest cutting knife in the or skiving knife in the world, which is why we're getting these little flyaways here. But they clean up easy enough. Now we're ready to start gluing. So we're trying out a new thread. In our production work, we've been using Main Thread's wax cord forever, but they recently just released a braided wax cord. So this is more similar to Ritza. This is the thinnest stuff they make. It is 0.02. That's their measurements. I think they have 0.02, 0.03, and 0.04 for reference with our die cut pieces with the holes in the dies. We use 0.35. And this is also, Main Threads usually, their wax polycord is known for being a little more rustic. This is a lot more refined because it's braided. So we'll give it a go. I've never used it before, but it's just a wax braided polycord, so it should act very similar to Ritza, and it does. So now this is kind of a two-step gluing process coming up next. We're going to glue our front down, and then this is kind of a fold over design. So the bottom pocket is in the shell here. So we're going to stitch this down, or we're going to stick this down first, then we're going to fold it over and stick the back down. And then I'm going to mark where everything lines up here so they know where to glue to. And here we go. So pattern will be $2-3 on the website, link in the description. And the piece itself stays really nice and slim. You can add a back pocket if you want. When we open it up, it's 2 snaps, and then you have room for, well, the dollar wasn't fully in there, but most international currency fits folded in that back pocket. A little squeeze gets you access to it. And then you have 2 slots for cards. And by sewing this bottom on the center one, we make sure that our cards don't slide all the way in and we lose them, so they're always right there, ready to go. On the back, it's nice and clean. This bubble leather looks so good. But this looks good. We have a sample here. No snaps or anything. It looks really good in plain leathers, decorative leathers. There's a lot of options for doing different color layers on the inside that you can't see on the outside. So just another good one from Kayleena. She always makes winners with patterns. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.